All right, so this is our first call for we have combined our both groups. So we've combined our Awesome Apprentices and our Purple Pace Setters so that we can do the Party with a Purpose training. So Carrie and I tonight are going to be doing two topics. We're going to be talking about prospecting and booking. So Carrie, I'm going to let you take it from here.
All right. So did you already welcome them and all that, or are we chatting?
No, I haven't done any of that.
So we are happy to have you here because we think these programs are going to be awesome for you guys. We're going to train you tonight on some important skills that you should master if you want to be successful in your Scentsy business. Showing up is step one, and you guys are here, so that's awesome. We're going to focus on Scentsy parties, whether you prefer the traditional parties or an open house experience. Maybe you'd rather meet up at a coffee shop or a tailgate or an online Facebook party. Those are all great ways to party. These skills work. They're tried and true. We're going to help you set the clearest path to success with Scentsy. If you think a Scentsy party is about making sales, then you really need to think again. It's a perfect opportunity to share our products and let people explain using fragrances, but it also sets the stage for building relationships with your hosts and guests. That connection is so important. So before we dive in to the skills, let's start with 3 words that you should all know and love. Simplicity, authenticity, and generosity. Scentsy has those listed as their core values. These 3 values guide every decision that the home office makes for us. And they should be the driving force in your business as well. So let's talk about each of them for a moment. Simplicity. We all know that life is complicated. From family to your job to trying to squeeze in time for yourself or get in between your kids' activities. We're all trying to find balance, and rest assured, Scentsy aims at simplifying and improving our lives and the lives of others. That means we avoid unnecessary tasks in our business. We do the right things the right way through teamwork. So the things that we're going to teach you through these next 3 video classes that we're going to do. Authenticity. Scentsy wants you to be who you are and run your business the way that works best for you. So you want to share your authentic self with others. Even though you might look at somebody and watch their videos and you want to do parties like them, make sure you're putting your whole self into it. Because when you strive to be true to yourself, it's going to be that much easier to grow into the best version of yourself. So be honest and open and respectful, and cultivate an environment of trust and collaboration within your team, with your customers, your hosts. You're the best endorsement for your business. If you're authentic, people are going to just be drawn to you. And your teams and customers will be drawn to you as well. And finally, generosity. At Scentsy, they always are saying that they give more than they take, and it's so true. You need to develop this same attitude and yourself. We are cheerful givers of our time and talents and resources. Look for opportunities to be generous. Give back to others by taking what you're going to learn today and pass it on. Encourage these skills within your team and to help them on the right path with Scentsy. Look for ways to demonstrate simplicity, authenticity, and generosity. Live through these values with your hosts, customers, and any new consultants that you sponsor. My daughter's frozen alarm clock is going off. It scared me.
Do you want to go?
So
I can do the next part if you want.
Sure.
Okay. Perfect. All right. So I think that's really important is to first to know that the core values of Scentsy, because if we really need to know the company we represent. Now we're just going to start diving into the actual skills training. And like I said, we're doing prospecting and booking tonight. So I'm hoping that you guys printed out this Party with the Workbook or Party with a Purpose workbook that we posted on the group. If you haven't, that's okay. Today we'll kind of walk you through it. But that basically Scentsy has provided us with 6 core skills, and they're called the 6 skills of the Scentsy selling system. So us as leaders, We're constantly training all the consultants in our downline so that you guys can take this and have a big impact on your businesses. But selling Scentsy is all pretty easy. The first part is prospecting, and that is focusing on how to best connect with others to build relationships that are going to help you build your business. That connection is really, truly what we're all about, building relationships within our hostesses, within our teams, within ourselves. That is really, really, this business is a relationship business. Bookings, they feature the best practices on how to book more parties from those relationships build. And let's face it, people want to book parties with people they have a relationship with. It's easier to book parties when you have a relationship rather than just the Scentsy consultant down the street. Hostess coaching centers on collaborating with your host to ensure that their party is amazing, not just for your sales, but for their sake, to get the most out of their host rewards so that they're going to come back and book again and again and again. Presenting is all about how you share your Scentsy products and yourself to build those relationships. There it is again, the relationships, enthusiasm, and to increase your sales. Then we'll talk about follow-up, which is the importance of maintaining those relationships that you've worked so hard to get, and to ensure that your customers, your hostesses, and your team are satisfied and are continually growing. And then finally, the last segment of this training is sponsoring. We'll help you to transition from being a consultant to being a leader. So remember that these skills are all important in all aspects of our business. But today we're just going to focus on prospecting and booking. So let's talk about, do you want to go ahead, Carrie, or do you want to do the first part? Okay, I will. Are we frozen? I think we're frozen. Okay, I don't know. Okay, I'll do the sample talking, and then how about you lead the activity?
Okay.
Will that work? Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
So first, I know for a fact that I used to have a really hard time talking to people, and I didn't know what to say, and I was stumbling over my words. So let's just go over a little activity that we can do, talking about what we can say. So we're going to dig a little deeper, and we're going to learn these skills and how they can help to improve your parties. Prospecting is the first skill that we're going to cover, and it's really, again, about connecting, building relationships with others. So prospecting is bravery. That's the first step. You have to be brave. You've got to get out of that comfort zone and just own it. And it's going to be uncomfortable. You're going to get butterflies, and that's perfectly okay. It takes courage to initiate a conversation with people that you don't know. And when you reach out to others, you share a piece of yourself. If you have that wall up, you've got to let it down, which often helps them to feel comfortable to share with you, because chances are if you have a wall built up, they do too. And so it helps them to just feel more comfortable, and you feel more approachable. So just relax, take a deep breath. It's gonna take practice. Prospecting is also about being proactive. True connections really take effort. You can't fake this stuff. It's gotta be authentic. It's got to come. I can't tell you exactly what to say because you and I are all so very, very different. So it is going to take time and effort. It's going to take some planning and preparation. So what might start off as we might be doing some improv stuff. Conversation can lead to something much bigger, especially when you're prepared and you kind of know what you want to say. So these are three. Prospecting is ongoing. Lasting connections require lasting effort on your part. So consistency is key. It's up to you to look for the new opportunities to find new people. So I'm going to just use myself. I've been in the business almost 8 years. I'm still constantly looking for new prospects. I have not found it. I will never reach a place of, well, I have enough, I don't need any more. That's not true, because some people I recruit on my team, so I lose those customers. Some people move and they find a consultant that's closer and more convenient for them. Some people just stop buying Scentsy all around. I mean, there's always reasons why. I'm constantly constantly prospecting, and it's going to be an ongoing effort for you guys as well. So those are the 3 vital elements to mastering this skill. You're going to need to learn how to have meaningful conversations with potential hosts, guests, and prospective team members. Learn how to listen. Listening is going to be just as important as talking. And understand how to read the room. Like when you're at a party, there's ways to read the room. So let's learn how to be a brave sharer and a good listener. So Carrie, you want to take it away?
Sure. All right. So for this activity, I need 2 volunteers. All right, Pamela.
Anyone
One
else?
more.
Sarah,
All right,
Megan, you felt pressure.
That's right. Got to be brave. So we're gonna get to know each other a little better. So initiating a prospecting conversation takes bravery and exceptional listening skills. You're obviously very bright because you just heard. Oh, it's because my internet is unstable.
Yep. She's paused herself. Oh, we can hear you, maybe.
All right, good. So the first part should be easy for you. I want you to think about your favorite Scentsy warmer, Pamela. And don't share it yet, but just think. Do you have a warmer 9? All right. So Megan, I want you to introduce yourself to Pamela and learn some more about her and see if she shares her favorite Scentsy warmer with you. If she does, let us know. And if not, we'll have her share at the end. But keep it. The person is talking. You need to actively listen and respond as needed to keep the conversation flowing. So go ahead.
And I can't just flat out ask what it is.
Nope. Find a way to bring up
Because
Scentsy.
I'm a very direct person. I will just ask.
You can find a way to get to that point in the conversation.
All right. So what are you doing this weekend, Pamela? Anything special for the 4th?
Oh, unfortunately, I get to dog sit a bunch of dogs because my cousin went out of town, and I get to work all weekend. What are you doing?
I worked all weekend too, and I've been dog sitting as well since I'm a dog walker and groomer. So I understand. Do you have any plans for tomorrow at least?
Nope, I have to work all weekend.
So what kind of dogs are you watching?
I'm watching a Shih Tzu. I'm watching a Shih Tzu and a Shih Tzu Yorkie and a mini lab mix.
Cute. So do you have any like favorite Scentsy products? Because that's great for lots of dogs in the house.
Oh, I have several Scentsy products that I love. In fact, I'm known as the Goodwill of Scentsy.
Oh, really? Why is that?
Oh, I just have a house load of Scentsy, and it seems like former consultants from different states and everything just drop things off to me.
Well, that's amazing. That I would love to see some of your older warmers that you have because I've only known about Scentsy for a few years.
Oh, I've only been in Scentsy myself for about 2 years, and trust me, older warmers are my thing, it seems like.
And they're still working?
Oh, yes, they definitely are. And a lot of wax bars and things I've never seen, trust me. I've gotten a lot of luggage and things like that.
Oh, really? What's the oldest warmer that you have?
It dates back to, let me think here, till right now, I think about 2006.
Wow. That's
I'm-
amazing.
I'm trying to pawn one off to Kelly, but she still got one, so she won't take it.
Is it that ugly? Or?
No, it's
No, it is not ugly at all,
Why
but
are you trying to pawn it off then?
because I wasn't in Scentsy, and I really would like somebody that was in Las Vegas to take it.
Oh, is it like one of the reunion warmers then?
Mm-hmm.
That sounds cool. What does it look like?
Oh, it's this big purple thing with this red, yellow, and writing on it and everything else. It just needs to go to somebody that was there.
Kelly, I think you're getting drug into this conversation.
You know, somebody just needs to celebrate having this if they're looking for it.
That's amazing, though. How did you end up with it? I don't understand.
That's what happens when you're the Scentsy Goodwill lady.
Oh. Nobody wanted it. They took it to her.
So what's the coolest warmer that you've ever gotten?
Coolest warmer I've ever gotten? Was
Yeah,
the
like
Stargaze, of course.
the Stargaze one? Oh, the star one that they just did recently.
Yeah.
That one was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Is it your favorite?
Mm-mm.
Nope. Dang it.
That was good.
That was a nice try, Megan. I'm struggling too. I'm trying to figure out, like, how would you pull that out of her?
Right? She's not giving any clues.
Yes, I have.
Oh, you have?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dog. I love my dog warmer.
That's what I was thinking.
Darn it. Okay,
No.
So tell me, what favorite type of year do you love?
What favorite type of year do I
Yeah,
love?
what is your favorite season of the year?
Christmas.
Mine is summer. What is yours?
I prefer snow.
Snow.
Let it snow.
Well, since everybody is so much enjoying the 4th of July, how about celebrate?
Oh, celebrate. Duh.
I said it how many times? Carrie.
Did
True.
You did. Yes.
Okay, let's go back to
I
that
did.
listening part on all of us. Yes.
I know I don't have my teeth in. Sorry, ladies.
Hey,
It's okay.
that was good. She really did say it several times, and we didn't even pick up on it.
I totally didn't either.
And it works real well because it's also my husband's birthday month, so I have to kind of get into that one.
Yeah. Nice.
You know, there's what you get to see of him.
Nieves, can you show your video? I know Sarah's having connection issues, so I don't think she's going to. Because are we going to change partners, Carrie, or no?
Yeah.
How'd that one go, Carrie? I want to say Kari because that's my cousin's name and spelling, by the way.
So Nieves, if you can, I mean, I guess she doesn't have to show. Can she talk? Nieves, can you say something so we can hear you?
Hello.
Sarah,
Hello.
hi.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can totally hear you. Sarah, how about you? Can we hear you at least? We don't have to see you.
Do you hear me? Yes.
Yay. Okay, Carrie, go.
All right. How about you guys? One of you be the one who starts the conversation and try to find out what their favorite hobby is. So who wants to go first? Sarah or Nieves?
I can go first.
Okay, Sarah. You need to try to get what her favorite hobby is and try to pick a warmer for her. You know, if she did like Pamela did, I love dogs. Tell her about the I love dogs warmer. But try to find out her favorite hobby and then try to sell her a warmer. Try to share what we have to offer.
Yeah.
Okay. So in this scenario, is she somebody that I know already or
Yep,
not?
you know her. So just get talking with her about her favorite hobby.
All right. Hey, Nieves, how are you doing today?
Hi, doing good, and you, Sarah?
I'm doing well. I've been doing a lot of traveling lately. How about you?
I've been home. I've been home with my kids.
You've been home.
Yes,
Have you
it's summer
doing anything
vacation,
exciting?
so they're maybe a few get-togethers at the house with family during the summer.
Well, that sounds nice. It's always good to have family come visit and use that time to spend together.
Yeah, it's nice to be with around people that you care about and laughs and stuff like that.
Well, I know it gets busy. Is there anything that you've been doing just specifically for yourself?
I like to sometimes when the days are really hectic, I try to have my downtime and de-stress by coloring. I like to color in those coloring any coloring book or those coloring pads that they make for relaxation.
Oh, absolutely. I actually have a couple of those myself. They're a lot
Oh,
of
do you
fun to
really?
do.
Yeah.
I do. Which ones are your favorite pads I like to do?
Anything with flowers, anything having to do with flowers.
Oh, wow. I know we had actually been talking a little while ago. I know you were saying that you wanted to get a new scent. We actually have some really awesome ones that you can color in. We have
Oh,
two of them.
really?
Yes, we have the Reimagine Warmer and then the Do-It-Yourself Calavera. So it's kind of therapeutic and relaxing. Good to have some amazing scents in your house.
Yes, Reimagine.
Reimagine?
Yes, that's
Well,
it.
I'm also doing a special this month, so I'm going to go ahead and throw a free bar in there for you since you are going to be making an order today.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's awesome,
Great
guys.
job, guys. So, what do you think? Was that harder or easier than you expected it to be to start up a conversation and really listen to what they were saying?
Well, to be honest, I'm working on my degree in social work and for doing therapy, so I have to be very astute and listening to what people are saying to me anyway, so it's kind of built into my brain to pick up on cues. It is a little challenging, though, not being able to see her in person, and I know with my video, too, not working, so that's really the struggle for me, is because it's not just about picking up on, verbal cues, but also, verbal cues as well.
Yes,
You brought up a
definitely.
really
Like facial expressions mean so much.
Yeah. And you know what? You brought up a really good point because there's some stuff that I've been doing lately with my customers to help to reconnect with them because I do a lot of texting and I feel like it's not a great way to, like you said, Sarah, you can't really see their facial expressions. You can't really anything, like you just don't have the same vibe from them. Carrie has done this too, is I know I travel a lot. So my parties right now are not home parties. It's not ideal, but it is what it is. So I have been doing a lot of like Facebook parties and I've done a Zoom party. Carrie's done a couple of Zoom parties too, just like we're doing here, but you're doing a Scentsy party. So that way you can actually see everybody. And you may have those who are uncomfortable. I've played some icebreaker games to where they feel like, okay, they break down their wall right away, and it's been super nice. Using the Marco Polo app has been awesome because you can just shoot a quick video. They don't always respond back, but some do. It's nice. So those are some ideas. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt and totally get us off topic, but those are some really good ideas that I've been doing lately that have helped get that one-on-one stuff.
It is so important to get in front of people.
Yeah. Okay, do we want to do the next part? You want me to take that one?
Sure.
All right. So you guys noticed that it was easier. I mean, Sarah did say she struggled with not being able to see her, but number one, she has a background in that, and it was easier to talk about a hobby or something that they were interested in more than just their favorite Scentsy warmer. So learn how to find clues like that and to fit that into the conversation. So now let's talk about reading the room. We kind of talked about that earlier. And what I mean by that is, as a consultant, you're going to see new faces at every party. You may not know these people, and you get butterflies because you have to reconnect, or you have to connect with people from the very beginning. But new faces are great for our business because it means a potential customer, and it could mean a new host, or even better, a new team member. So ideally, we want to see new faces every single month, every single day, every single party. That's what we strive for. Your challenge is to identify who those people are. Who's going to be your next host? Who's going to be your next consultant? And maybe who's just going to be your next customer. Once you can do that, you can put them into categories, and that's going to help you with the next step. So, for example, if someone really gets excited when they see all the rewards from the host program that you've talked about, you need to take note, because you need to mention the party aspect to them. Put them in a category for potential host. Or maybe when you're sharing information about running your Scentsy business, I share a lot about my travel and what I could do with the kids. And I see if somebody's body language will kind of like, curious, like I want to see that, then they're going to go into my potential recruit category, or my potential team member. So it's important to read the room and to see exactly what might interest somebody at your party. So be on the lookout for attentive people. Maybe they lean forward. When you speak, they lean forward because they want to hear you more. Look for guests who nod in agreement because they, yes, they think that Scentsy is amazing, or they love the laundry products. So when you share about, a different product, or maybe when you're sharing about hosting a party, if they're nodding, that's perfect body language. And be sure to take note when a guest places a big order. What would you do if a guest placed a big order? Anyone?
You'd recommend a party?
You'd recommend a party?
Recommend a party?
Or offer to flip it into a party for them?
Yeah, that's what you said. Yeah, that's what my mom said, to absolutely. So to flip that into their own party. So offer them to have all the guests from that party become their party, and they would get the rewards from that. And you're basically giving them their own business. You're helping them start their own business. So most consultants are initially drawn to the business opportunity because they love the products, and it's a natural place to get started. So no matter what category you might place them in, all of your guests need to hear about the Scentsy opportunity. Whether they are leaning forward or they're nodding in agreement, they all need to hear about the opportunity. And I use this example a lot, but when you see a commercial, my kids are like the king and queens of commercials. My mom's nodding in agreement that when they hear a commercial, they will compete against each other to find out what commercial that is, right? But it took them several times of hearing that commercial to know that was it. So it's the same thing. They may have seen something on TV and that never thought twice about it, let's just say a Hot Wheel, and they never thought twice about it. But then they saw it again after the next show. There was that same commercial, and then they saw it again. And after the third or fourth time, they're like, "Hey, Mom, I want that Hot Wheel for my birthday." So you have to say things 3 or 4 times for people to really sink it in. But that's really important. So you have to mention it to people, no matter if they are interested in the opportunity or not, because you just never know when that is going to finally sink in. But if you don't mention it to them, they'll never really, that most people aren't going to say, "Hey, I want to join your company." The reason people join is because somebody asks them. So that's really important to keep in mind. Tell them about the starter kit and how they can get started with Scentsy, and they can even use it as a discount. And you guys, this month we have the free warmer, so why not talk about it? It gives you another opportunity. Like, hey, guess what? You get a free warmer plus everything you get in your kit. So let's talk about this rule. If you'll open up your workbooks to page 3, right? It talks about the 10-7-2-1 rule. Okay, that it takes 10 guests. Your ideal situation is you want to get 10 guests at every party. Out of those 10 guests, 7 of those should place an order. At least 2 should commit to hosting a party of their own, and at least one guest will be interested in pursuing Scentsy as a business. So we're going to focus a lot on that rule in these programs in the next few weeks. So remember, though, that doesn't always just happen. It requires action. So by using these Party with a Purpose steps, that's really going to help you to get 10 guests at your party, 7 will place an order, 2 will book a party, and 1 would be interested in Scentsy. So it's important to read the room and put your guests into different categories. But if you don't reach out to them, then they're probably not going to reach out to you. You have to start the conversation. You can always rely on them to do it. So when you do, try to match your message to the person that you're connecting with. Remember, it's not every person at the party is going to be interested in pursuing a Scentsy business, and that's okay. Maybe they're open to being a host, or they could just turn out to be a loyal customer. But each person at that party should turn out to be in one of those categories. You just need to be flexible with how your approach is and listen to what they're saying so that you can put them in their appropriate category. So everyone that you connect with is for sure a potential customer, a host, or a future team member, but it's up to you to fit them into where they belong. And the last bit of prospecting advice that I'm going to leave you with is that make your message come from your heart. Because like I said, we can sit here and tell you, say this, say that, but that's from my heart. That's from Carrie's heart. But you've got to come up with what is in your heart, what feels comfortable to you, what feels right to you, and then practice it. Practicing is perfectly fine. And by coming from your heart, it's most likely going to be more successful for you than it would be for me, and vice versa. So any questions on prospecting before we move to bookings? All right. Okay, so Carrie, how about you want to do this or the activity? You choose. I'm new to all this. I know, I'm new to all this training, so this is my first time, guys. You're my guinea pigs, all of you.
I don't mind. I don't mind doing the activity again if you want. That's fine.
Okay. That was the answer I was hoping you were going to say. Okay, so now we're going to move on to booking, and then with another activity. So we're going to talk about how you would turn an authentic connection. Remember, authentic is something that's coming from your heart into an actual party booking. And so for the sake of our training, we're just going to focus on in-person parties. We're not going to be talking about Facebook or anything else. We're just going to be talking about in-person parties, whether they're at someone's home or in a break room at an office, whatever, but you're face-to-face with these people, okay? So this is your chance to shine as a consultant. It's also the best way for customers to experience our amazing products because they get to see them, feel them, touch them, smell them. And the relationship that you build face-to-face, just as Sarah had mentioned, is really priceless. It really does make a difference when you have people face-to-face versus online. And odds are most of you guys began your Scentsy journey at a home party, and you were a guest at the home party, and maybe you fell in love with the products. Maybe you hosted your own party and then joined, but now you're a consultant, and for whatever reason, we find it super difficult to ask that question, would you like to book a party? Right? But somebody most likely offered you to book a party. I know for sure Nieves, I had a home party with her, and that was, it was not hard to ask her if she wanted to have a home party, but I do typically find that sometimes it's hard to say, hey, would you like to have a party? So we're going to talk about letting that wall down and being able to not make that so hard. So we're going to master 3 elements to develop your booking skills that are going to overcome with that. Number 1, it goes back to being prepared. We talked about this with prospecting, being prepared, being ready to have a booking conversation at any time, anywhere, no matter where you're at, and have host packets ready. This is important. You want to give them something the day they say, yes, I want to book a party. 2 is pop the big question. You don't have to get on your knee, but you do have to pop the big question, and that sometimes is really hard. Don't forget to actually ask people if they want to book a party. I think Carrie lost her connection. And it's easy sometimes to forget, because I know for a fact when we're at parties, sometimes we get scattered. I have an outline. I take a piece of paper that keeps me on track, because I lose my train of thought super easy, as you guys already know. But I do the same thing at my home parties, and I make sure I put in there, ask about party, ask about party, ask about party, at least 3 times during my actual home party. And then the last skill is learn how to overcome objections, because we are going to get turned down. We are going to get told no, and that is okay. But knowing how we will respond in different situations and will help us to continue and go forward. So you should always be prepared to have your parties booked. You don't want to miss out on an opportunity because you didn't know what to say, or you weren't prepared with the host packet. So carry your host packets with you. Even if you're at the grocery store and the opportunity arises, you want to have a host packet. Practice what you're going to say during a booking conversation and know when you're available to have a party. This is important, guys. Have a calendar open and ready so that you can know exactly when you want to book your parties. Because that's going to be key. You don't want to say, oh yeah, I'll have a party with you next Saturday, and you get home to your calendar and say, oh my gosh, I forgot I had something going on that day, and then you have to call them back and it's a big mess. But you look more professional too when you pull out your calendar right in front of them and say, okay, I have this day, and this day available. And when you actually show them your calendar and it's booked, the urgency is going to be a lot more. They're going to say, when you write your calendar, you're going to want to write in everything, your travel dates, your vacation dates, your working, the time that you work, your other job, if you work a real job, your kids' appointments, everything. So that way they're looking at your calendar going, oh my gosh, she's only got these 3 days. I better snag one or I'm not going to get one. That sense of urgency makes a big difference. So I want you to turn to page 4 in your workbooks, and we are going to talk about bookings and what to say. Carrie?
Okay. So, sorry, I'm going to have to go in the other room. My husband just came in with 6 kids.
Oh boy. So Carrie, for those of you who don't know, has quads. 7-year-old, right? They're 7?
And he also bravely took Jess's 2 kids for the night so she could be here for the meeting.
That's awesome.
So we're going to turn to page 4. I believe Kelly was saying that. And I want you to think about what you would say to get someone to book a party. But you've got to choose your words really carefully. What phrases can you use without saying the word can, host, or party? For this activity, I want you to write down as many phrases or questions that you can invite someone to book a party without using those 3 words. For example, do you want to share Scentsy with your family and friends at home? So I'm going to give you like 2 minutes to come up with a couple of ways that you can say it without using can, host, or party. So if you don't have your notebook, just write it down on a piece of paper.
Yeah. You want to use this one? Just do it on the paper. Can host party. Anything else goes.
So how did everyone do? Was it difficult?
My
So
mom
how about you share some of your, what was that?
said my mom got 3.
3. So why don't you guys share some of the things that you came up with?
Okay. What do you have? I'm sharing for my mom because she's not on video tonight. Okay, what are your words?
Let's get some friends and family together and do a sip and sniff.
Let's get some friends and family together and do a sip and sniff. Good.
How would you like to share your Scentsy with some friends?
How would you like to share your Scentsy with some friends? Good.
You want to get some rewards?
You want to get some rewards? I like that one. Okay, who else? Nieves, I see you. Nope, I don't. Okay, who else? Nieves, I'm going to pick on you, girlfriend.
Sip and sniff.
Good. That's it?
Sorry, I'm making spaghetti and I left for a little.
Hey, that could be a good one. I'm making spaghetti.
Okay.
All right, who else?
I have a few. I put, would you be interested in joining a business? Would you like to have a sip and sniff event? Do you have any friends you'd want to share Scentsy with? I'd love to show you all of our product lines. Do you want to meet for coffee with a few friends? So that's what I got.
I like it. Pam, what did you get?
Want to have a get together with some friends? Sunday brunch, sniff and sniff at my place. And then I also have tired of sports. Come to my place for a barbecue.
I love that one.
Bring your guys for a get together at my place. Open house at my place with Scentsy. Looking for a dream and a journey? Come talk to me. Scentsy lovers wanted. That's just a few of them.
Those are good. I like
Nice. Those were all good ideas.
Sarah, do you have any? Oh, she raised her hand.
Yeah, I did. So I did similar for the sip and sniff. I said, let's have a sip and sniff at your house or mine in the next 2 weeks. They're so fun. I know you want how much you wanted that diffuser. I know the best way for you to get one half off. I know you have family coming into town next week. We can have a get together and earn you some free products. And then I did a skincare and scents event because I just recently did a double event with my friend that sells Mary Kay, and it was really fun.
That's awesome. I like how you used things like, I know you have family, or I know this, and you used it to turn that into, you know, your own party. So that's, I like that. Good job, guys. Do you want to do it, Carrie? Is there another one?
Yes. So those were all great ideas. And asking the big question is only one step in getting those 8 to 10 parties booked each month. So let's talk about your monthly calendar and how it helps you stay prepared and how we keep our schedules organized without too much effort. We're going to turn to page 5 in your workbook and create a rough calendar for the next 2 weeks. So you can figure out when you have time for parties and identify strategies for maintaining your calendar. So what you're going to see on page 5 is some blank calendars. Write this month at the top of the first calendar.
Hi. Good night, baby.
Now, this calendar is your friend. You're the boss here. So let's fill it in, starting with days you know you have commitments and can't book parties. So check your phone or your tablet and make it as accurate as you can, writing in days that you cannot book parties. Good night, Brady. Good night.
Kelly's having her own sip and sniff over there.
Always having a sip and sniff.
Every night. It's not pumpkin juice,
Correct.
folks.
My friends know me. Wait, you're muted. You're muted. Carrie. You're
Oh.
muted.
You should have been at our team meeting tonight. We had homemade wine.
Homemade wine? What? How is that? Did you stomp grapes tonight?
No. I had already made the wine. We just drank it.
Nice. I want to know how to make homemade wine.
It's simple.
Google it.
It's simple.
Mhm.
Okay, we should fly to each other and we should make homemade wine together. I'm a big wino. My kids even, they're like, Mom, stay away from the wine aisle. Okay.
You're only allowed pumpkin juice.
Yep, everybody knows me well. All right. Sorry. Back to your calendar. Make sure you put out your days that you're going to be drinking your homemade wine. Carrie.
Yes.
What kind of wine was it? Dark or was it red? I can't stop talking about it. Red or white?
We had green apple wine. We had sangria wine and coconut.
Coconut wine? I'm intrigued.
Mhm.
Can
Delicious.
you sneak me some to reunion?
I don't know if it would break.
You probably would. Darn it. Well, all right. Sorry. I'll let you get back to your calendars now. Bobby's laughing at me.
Carrie, I have a problem.
What's the problem?
July is Facebook full and overloaded.
Well, that your calendar's good. That's not a problem.
That's good.
So go to
I
August.
know.
Problem.
Oh, but I don't know if July's going to do anything, but it's Facebook full right now.
Well, then the next part will be perfect for you when we talk about host coaching, because then they'll be for sure.
Yeah, try and get people to talk to you on Facebook's a pain in the butt.
Well, you should try to do a Zoom party.
Yeah, this is in events online, babe. DS, team building stuff.
Good deal.
We'll have to have Jess Corey get on and share some tips that she gave about getting interaction on Facebook parties on the team page.
Yeah, this is a Facebook group called DS Team Building and like that. Facebook events.
Did she leave already?
She did. She just took her kids out of here.
Yeah, we'll have to have her come do a chat for us.
Yes. So hopefully you have plenty of blank days left. So look at the empty spaces and fill in all the time you need to run your business. Like, do you set aside a specific day for follow-ups, or doing return calls, or bringing orders to your customers, anything like that?
That's fine. It's okay. I don't need it. We're good.
So make sure you fill those days in.
That's fine.
And then, of course, you need some sanity days, some personal days to just focus on you and do what makes you happy. These days are super important because if all we are doing is working and not giving ourselves any time to recharge, we're going to burn out really quick. So make sure you schedule in a day or two for some sanity time.
And you guys are going to want to do this every month. Or, at the end of every month, you should already have your next calendar going. So this is a good task to do every month, not just today.
Like, I already have my August calendar pretty well filled up. Like, I always try to stay ahead of myself.
it makes it easier to not stress out. Well, and the next part is about, well, after that is front loading your calendars. Try to get your parties in early in the month, so that way if you have any cancellations or anything else, you have room to fill in the end.
Right. So ideally, you should have 8 or 10 blank days or evenings on your calendar, and you can circle those. If you don't have 8 to 10, just circle what you've got.
I know. July, my mom was mentioning too, July it's hard too because we lose a week going to reunion.
Yes.
That's when my basket parties come into play.
That's right. So those are your party days, all the ones that you have circled. So when you have booking conversations, these are the days that you want to give your next host the chance to choose from. So remember, you're in control of your calendar and you decide when you want to do parties. That's the awesome thing about owning your own business. Sometimes you might get a host who simply cannot schedule a party in one of your available days. So in that case, you know, we have to try to be flexible and resist ending the conversation without having a firm scheduled party date. So if this was helpful to you, use the other blank calendar to schedule August. Once you find a scheduling system that works for you, stick to it. I was just saying I already have my August schedule booked, and I'll start working on my September probably when we get back from reunion. So I'm still ahead of myself.
Well, and then you're excited about the product, so then you'll be able to share like, hey, you'll be the first to have a party with these new blah, 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 and delivery system and everything else. But like she said, it's really important to make whatever you find that works for you, put it into practice, and not just put it into practice for you, but share it. Like we mentioned at the very beginning, all this is meant to be shared with your team, with your friends, with your teammates, whoever else that you may connect with Scentsy. Share your system because they may be struggling with finding a system that works for them. But the important things that we've learned here today, we have one more quick thing to do is overcoming objections. But the important thing that we're learning here today is being consistent and being prepared. And so by doing your calendar and knowing what you're going to say and having your host packets ready, it's all about being prepared for your business. This is all stuff that can easily be done. So when you're prepared to party, then you know what you want to say and how to pop the question. The next part is hearing that big fat word that we all hate is the word no. And we are going to hear that word a lot. And hopefully you do hear it a lot because that means you're really working your business. If you're not hearing the word no, then you're not asking enough people because really people are going to say no. And the more people that say no, then you're just that closer to getting that yes. So sometimes you have everything prepared and that booking conversation just did not go as you had planned, and that's okay. When your potential host gives you a reason why they can't or cannot host, you're going to have insight into what motivates them, and you need to use that. Again, it goes back to the listening skills we talked about at the very beginning. And once you start to understand why someone doesn't want to do something, then you can understand why they do want to do it. So if it's time, then you can give them options for time. If it's space, you give them options for space. So there's ways that you can do things by, maybe they do want to have a party. They just can't figure out how to. And that's our job, is to find out how to help them do that. So consider this common excuse that you might hear from a potential host. I don't want to have a party at my house. So I'm hearing at my house, I don't want to have a party. Then you could say, well, if you don't have enough space for a group, or they just don't want to maybe clean their house, or they don't want to have to cook or prepare, then you come up with the solution. And they would appreciate that. It's not just you're not being high pressure. They're just appreciating that you're giving them other options than having the party at their house. And they're thinking that you can really accommodate them. once you've offered a solution, don't turn the conversation into an argument or put them off put them off if they're truly not interested. You can kind of tell. A lot of times their body language are like, they're still not interested. No matter what you say to try to overcome that objection, they're still not interested. And sometimes no just means no forever, or sometimes it means just no, not right now. Maybe the timing isn't right. You can always ask them again in a few months, but again, it goes back to being prepared. How are you going to follow up with them? Do you write it down in a book? Do you write it down in your phone? I use my phone for my reminders. So I have a little reminder thing, and my husband just told me today that he's on that. I guess I put it on the wrong iCloud account. But I have this. I don't know if you guys can see it. Let's take this light off. Okay. Whoops. So I don't know if you can see it now. There you go. So see, I have follow-ups. I have my monthly to-dos. I have monthly reoccurring to-dos. I have my baskets out, my collections, host coaching. I have stuff for family, orders, potential parties, potential recruits, good ideas like that I just want to reference, my reminders. I have a sensational start date for my team, shooting star days for my team, and team follow-up. So this is how I keep track with it. So if they say I'm not interested right now, okay, no problem. They go enter potential parties, and I can put in a time that I need to remind them. So that's my system that works for me. But you need to find a system that works for you. So for the next few minutes, and this is going to be our last activity, but for the next few minutes, I want you to share some of common objections that you hear or have heard from potential hosts, and then we can try to help offer a solution for them to actually host a party. So let's hear who has had some objections that you need help with trying to overcome those objections. You're muted, Pam.
Here's one of the normal ones I get. I don't have the room.
Okay, perfect. That's understandable. Some of my best parties are not at a home. That we do them at a break room. We can do them at Starbucks for a sip and sniff. We can go to a wine room. We can meet on your lunch hour. There's a lot of places that we can meet. So you don't have to have it at your home.
I work all the time.
Oh, well, that's good. We can, what I say to that one? If you work all the time, you can sure use a rest. I bet you could really use a girls' night out with some wine or just some laughs. It does not have to be long, because I understand that your schedule is very hectic, but I know that you could use some relaxing time. My presentation is not long, but we sure do enjoy each other's company. You can use that, or you can use a Facebook party. They can do an online party. I still prefer to get together one-on-one with them, though. Carrie, do you have any suggestions on that one, or anyone else for that matter?
I usually suggest basket parties at that point. Mm-hmm. Well, if you are so busy, you must get in contact with a lot of people in a day. I'd love for you to just take this basket party around, share it with everyone. It's going to have the samples of all of our scents, some catalogs, and you're still going to get the same host rewards as having it in your home. Another one, we have Dunkin' Donuts here. You guys, I don't know if you have Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah. I've done that before. I've talked to the manager about just going in there and doing a little sip and sniff type thing, and I'll buy a box of the coffee and put it out, and they can bring their friends, and we just have coffee and smell the scents.
I've done them in a racetrack. I've done them at their work.
Nice.
What are some other objections that you guys have? Megan, I'm going to put you on the spot, because I know that in your area, she's in California, and people don't want to have parties, period, right? Yeah. So okay, let me tell you, you've asked, and what's been your scenario? Like, what's happened?
They usually are just like, my friends aren't going to be interested in that, or I'm not very interested in that kind of thing. I'd rather just pay for it, because people are just like, I'd rather not save money. I don't know. I'm a coupon kid. But yeah, that happens a lot. People in LA are really flaky. I've hosted my own parties at my house, even just casually, like just come on by, like I'll have snacks and wine and whatever, and no pressure to buy, but I'll have my stuff out if you want to smell the scents or like ask any questions or anything. And people will just like say, yes, I'll show up, I'll show up, I'll show up, and most of the time won't. And it's happened for house parties too. I had somebody who wanted to host a house party and literally not one person showed up.
All right, Carrie, do you have any suggestions? Because I've offered her some advice, but I would love to hear. Have you ever had girls that have, or team members that have had that issue?
So I just did this with one of my team members. I told them, don't invite your friends for a Scentsy party. Invite them over for a barbecue. I don't know if you have like an area that you can do a barbecue where you're living or something like that. And just have your Scentsy out.
Well, I've done that. I've been like, come on, girl, like, let's just have a girls' night at the house.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, I'll have it set out, and then they're just like, oh, okay. But still, like, it's like that just for a regular, like, get-together where half the people that you invite just won't show up. It doesn't matter what it is. Like,
I was telling her I think that she needs to not include her friends because I mean, my friends are not always interested in it either, and I feel like she should branch out, which she's been really rocking that out. She went on a bachelorette weekend and totally like handed out cards and stuff in Vegas. But that, I mean, I just feel like her friends and her circle Scentsy is just not for them. What do you think, Carrie? Or Sarah, whoever. Or Megan.
I'll tell you, when I joined, I'm muted?
No, you're good.
You're good.
Okay. When I joined, I had done other direct sales in the past, so there was no way I was asking my family or friends to do a party for me because I didn't want to listen to them be like, oh, she's doing something different. You know, it had been years between the parties, but I did not even want to join Scentsy, to be honest. And I just was so afraid to ask them. So I had to really go out like you did and go out of my comfort zone and have people who I didn't really know host parties. And when I would go to these people's party, I knew nobody who were friends with them. So that just brings you into different circles. Something that was suggested at leadership actually is hosting an event in your home. Pick a night, the same night every month. So whether it's the 3rd of the month or the 10th of the month, you're having a stand.
Oh, you're frozen.
She's like this.
Frozen?
Oh, you're good.
My internet stinks lately. So invite people to come and at the end of the night say, all right, so next month, the 3rd is on whatever date the 3rd is on. Open house here. Who wants to be the hostess? To be the hostess, all you have to do is bring 5 adult friends with you.
Adults, I like that.
Always at your house, so there's not the need for them to clean the house. There's not the need for them to say they don't have room for it or whatever. And they always know it's on the certain day of the month. So if the same people are coming every month or every couple months, they're going to want to be the host at some point too, because they're going to want to get some of their stuff for free.
I like that.
So that was a
I actually threw so I had my bachelorette weekend 2 weeks ago, and this past weekend was my fiance's bachelorette, and she was laughing at me because she figured out what I was doing later. But I always pack room spray with us anyway when we travel, and I threw a room spray in her bag, and I posted a picture on Facebook like, see guys, I always travel with room spray. I wasn't lying. And Angelica's going, and she texted me, she's like, oh, good call on the room spray, because I'm sharing a room with like 3 other girls. And I was like, okay. So I had put up for reordering, please contact Megan McCormack sticker on the back of it, which she knew was not there before. And she saw it when she got there and she said she started laughing. But her friend was actually like, I need 2 of these. I need 2 room sprays because I need these for my bathrooms. Like I have my husband and he's stinky and I need 2 room sprays. And so we're actually going to her house tonight. So I'm bringing what I have on hand with me. And then Angelica, my fiance, was like, she's in all these mommy groups and she's a hairdresser. And I was like, that she would be awesome for like a basket party or to ask to be part of the business. And she's like, well, I don't know if she'll do like join. And I was like, well, I'll ask her, so I'm bringing some like opportunity packets with me. And if she says no, like that's the worst she could say. And maybe she'll do a basket party for me, or maybe she'll host something at the house. So that's what I'm working on tonight and tomorrow.
And if she says no, it might just mean no now, but you could still put her on your list for maybe later. That's what I don't ever, unless they tell me like I'm really never going to be interested, then I don't ever bother them again. Not that I'm bothering them, but I feel like we could help them. We could help people's lives. We do help people's lives all the time. So it's a matter of just making that change in your brain. And it helps for me, it helps me to say, okay, I could be blessing this person's life. So it really does make a big difference.
Yeah, because it's not that they need the money, but like she's a very sociable person. So I feel like and she's a very driven person. So I feel like even if it's just something extra that she does on the side and she pays for her kids like dance lessons or something with it, like she would probably love that. Yeah. So I don't know. It's just, I think that she would really have fun with it because she is very outgoing and outspoken and she has so many different networks that I want to talk to her about it.
Yeah.
All because I put a room spray in my fiance's bag.
I know. It all comes with getting outside of the box, and that's and you are the queen of doing that. So Pam saying hello. All right, guys. Well, you know what? It was over an hour, and I appreciate all of your time. And I hope that this was helpful to you. And I think that it's important to get just back to the basics and doing all this stuff and getting your calendar and getting out there and learning how to prospect. And the next one will be next Monday. So mark your calendar, same time. And we're going to be talking about the next 2, which is going to be, dun, dun, dun. I lost oh, there we go. It's going to be host coaching and presenting next time. And I feel like, honestly, not necessarily more than sponsoring, but I feel like host coaching is way up there on the have to do list. So please be on that call, and it'll be next Monday, same time, same bat channel, same here, and I'll post the event. Carrie, did you have anything else before we wound down for the night?
I don't think so. Sorry, I kept losing you guys.
No, it's okay. Internets are lovely. So, all right, guys.
No.
Pam's showing you that whatever she's got going on there. Silly. All right, guys. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. And I hope you have a wonderful evening and happy Independence Day. Be safe. Oh, one other thing Carrie and I had talked about. So tomorrow, because it is a holiday, we had originally planned to do a booking blitz. So I want you guys to do that on your own, and then we'll do a group one together as well. But if all those dates that you circled on your calendar was not just to sit there and leave it on your desk to be collecting dust, your job is to book those days that you have circled. And so the first person to do that is going to get a prize. So we're going to post that on the group. So the first person, you have to, number 1 is show your calendar on the Facebook page. And the first person to book, and it has to be at least 4, right? Does that sound like a good number, Carrie? At least 4 parties? Mm-hmm. Okay, so the first person to book at least 4 home parties, not Facebook, not anything, in-person parties, is going to get a prize. And it's going to be a fun one. And it'll be something from convention, from reunion. So promise that you're
Not fair.
well, maybe you can be creative with your days or have it, you know, at your doctor's appointment.
I'm still stuck.
Well, then bring them to the house. Do something. Be creative. You can do it, but it needs to be in person. And you know what? How about if we do it? You can do a Zoom party. I would consider that in person. How do you feel about that, Carrie?
Yeah.
So you can do Zoom or in party, but it has to be face-to-face parties. First,
Does that count for August or when?
nope, got to be for July. All for July.
I'm booked. Not fair.
Well, I'm sorry. There'll be more challenges. Don't worry. But I promise you guys can do this. Okay, so good night. Happy 4th. Love you all. Thank you for being on. Thank you for watching the
Goodbye.
recording. Good night. Bye.
Bye.